It's Monday night. That can only mean one thing. Car Stereo Talk coming to you live from the bays of 5-Star Car Stereo in Clearwater, Florida. It's your host. Hi, I'm Dean, and this is
Fernando Lopez.
Oh, you went with the full name. Very nice. Anyways, hey guys, welcome to the show. It is Monday night. We are back. We are excited. We are here. Yeah.
First.
What do you mean first?
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's Monday night. So
it's Monday night.
There's no football, softball, or baseball. I guess baseball has started. Really don't care. But,
Come on, man.
No, I don't. It's sports. Go sports.
You need that shirt.
Go sports. I think Haley has one. Haley actually made herself one. It says Go Sports. I might have had one. Good evening, Brad. You like the new font?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that now.
That's very professional.
I don't know.
That's it. That's the only thing we have.
Hi, guys. Hello. What is up? Hello, Car Stereo Junkies. Isn't that the truth? Right?
Oh, hey.
We all have.
Look at this.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There.
Yep. Hello. Happy Monday. It's Monday. Happy
right
is always a stretch. Good evening, chat room. Fernando and Dean. Hello, Bobby. Oh, he's got a hookup now on some new fuse holders that he's buying. You know, like underneath the hood and distribution kind of acrylic styles. Yeah. Look really nice.
Very good.
Seattle-ish checking in.
Go Hawks.
What is the brand of car stereo that you consider top of the line right now? These two? Moscone and
Arc.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah,
all right, slow it down. The reality is this. Rule number one is if you're not on my team, you suck. Okay, so there are things that I like. There's things that his like. There's things that you like. For example, Saturdays, apparently somebody in the comments really liked JL Audio, and we never talked about it. And so they were like, I'm never coming back again.
No,
and it's okay. It's okay.
Sometimes we don't have the chance to answer your question because there's so many. I tried to get most of them.
No, he was just upset because we never,
you guys
talked about JL.
Yeah,
and it's like whatever. I mean, so there are plenty of amazing products out there. Like Tony Giamore has those giant amplifiers that he makes that go off to the Orient. They're Audison makes the what is that thing? The Thesis Vente. It's like 10 grand. There's the British company that makes the weird thing with the
wave.
I don't know.
Wave something.
So I mean, there's a ton of amazing products out there. That's the great thing about right now.
You know, like
Brax. There you go. Brax is another one. There's so many good products out there right now that it's hard to find a bad one. Okay. Even like the second tier.
It's easy to find.
It's easy to find a crappy one. But there's plenty. The middle is really thick right now. There's a lot of middle amplifiers that are great amplifiers for the money. So, anyways, we got really deep into that one.
Yes. Let's start with my page.
Really quick. Let me go here. What's up, Car Gift? How are you doing? Okay.
Portugal.
So, hey, we do this little thing called 12 Volt Clean Wire Club. Some of you guys are members, and some of you guys aren't. It's okay. But every weekend, Fernando scours the page to find a top picture that is brought to you by the fine folks at Kenwood.
There you go. Very good.
Kenwood is polite enough to sponsor it, so we can put nice enough. Very nice. We love Kenwood. Anyways, they allow us to put an ad up there at the top. Of course, this weekend we'll be with their partner company, JVC, off in Dallas, talking about the new S8 and the new FL Float radios that are coming out from both JVC and Kenwood. Should be end of March, early April. And lots of you guys are excited about that new 8-inch platform that's going to allow you to pop out your 8-inch screen, pop a new one in. Not much is on the internet because it's still new and they're not ready to publish it, which is weird, but it's coming.
Toslink.
They have Toslink on the Exelons, so that's really cool. That's going to make everyone super happy. The new float screen is really nice. And, of course, we have the new 1058 replacing the long-lived 1057. Long live the king in the King guys. So we have the 1058 coming out. Anyways, for those of you I'm talking too much, whoa, we got some Stinger amps with an this is almost funny, right? Because we have the Epic series amplifiers that are specifically designed to do this. Clearly, he probably did it before those came out. Either way,
I don't know.
we got some Stinger audio with an epicenter. Looks really nice. Ooh, he's got a laser little etch thing on the top of the board here.
It looks cool.
I would love to see what this went in, because I feel like it's probably pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, with the wood.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that. Here's the funny part. Like when I was, anyways, you can go kenwoodusa.com, check them out. Thank you so much, Kenwood. You know, when I was starting, like if you were to put wood grain in a car, like build something like that, you know, they would just look at you like you were funny. Like you would never do that. You'd put carpet on it. You put carpet and tweed on everything. Okay, that was just what you did. Bobby Gately, I think, has single-handedly made just staining the wood, and there are other people that have done it, but in my world, Bobby Gately, I think, has single-handedly made the wood grain box look the sexiest. Now, there's other people that do it, and I totally get it, but let's be honest. His sculpting of that front panel is just so freaking awesome. I mean, every one of those I see, even when he does an acrylic, like his, it's so, I love it so much. I mean, I don't need one of his boxes, but I would, like, because he's like, I'll make it. I know I don't want a trunk box because it won't look cool. Like, you know, I was like, no, I want all the contours and the waves stuff.
I love the waves that
waves
he does. You know, it's very cool. Yes.
And before we, so head over to Facebook if you want to do that.
That is correct.
I gotta pull this out here before we get too deep. And I want to do this, and I'm gonna do this again, which is this. Say, Brad, we are 16 days, 7 hours, 20 minutes away from crinkle cut fries at the bar. Who's excited about that? I know I am. Oh boy. You know, get a nice, get some sugar, probably get like a Sprite, you know, crispy Sprite, as Haley would say. And yeah, I know, right? It's coming. For those of you that don't know, MasterTech Expo is right around the corner. So if 16 days. 16 days, dude. But there's still time. There's still space in the hotels. There's still time. You can still book your flight or drive, or whatever it is you want to do. You can drive. I mean, if Brian can drive from Modesto to Florida,
you can totally drive.
You can totally drive from wherever you're at on the planet.
From New York to whatever.
Yeah. Wherever you're at, so you could take the channel from Great Britain to the U.S. Just take the channel.
Well, that's a thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's why, you know, we were gonna do that when we went to Hawaii, but we flew instead because it was.
Now, what happened if you're in Columbus, Ohio? Are you going?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Anyways, what's up, man? So anyways, if you have questions, now is the time to get them in. If you haven't already started, Fernando is going to start looking for that. Are the Kenwood direct replacement going to work for an 18 RAM with an 8.4? So the answer to that question is yes. The second part of that question is when. So some RAMs will be covered in the initial launch, and some RAMs will be covered in the second launch. So I don't know the years specifically when that is going to happen, but the answer to the question is yes. I just don't know when. Dean, on the 3.5s on the dash, do I need to remove the 47 caps when I'm running an amp through them through a DSP? They will be on their own channels. So you don't need to, but I strongly would advise you to. More than likely, you're going to be crossing them over at about or around the same frequency as the cap. So there's really no reason to have the cap if you're not wanting to pull the cap out because it's a fragile Dodge. You don't have to, but I would. But yes, totally. Flax 3-way, good enough for starters and enders. A lot of people, that's their go-to speaker. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. That's what they want to do. That's what they're all set. And, you know, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna do the flax. So we do a lot of flax. That guy there and this guy here. And speaking of Focal, hey, do you need some speakers for your car just like this gentleman does? Well, if you do, guess what? We got you, bro. You can head over to focal-america.com and you can find some awesome speakers. And you click on product line. We're gonna come down here to performance. We have the slate fibers, and then we have the expert flax. So we can boom down to here, and then we'll come in and we go, ooh, look at that. We got 3 different 6.5s to choose from. So the FXE is going to have, even though that looks black there in the center, that is that aluminum autoformer that is in the center of the speaker. So this is going to be, and the amplifier is bi-ampable. So if you're going to go passive, this has a 2-way bi-ampable crossover. I mean, it has, you don't have to bi-amp it, but it has an input for you to amp just the tweeters and an input to just amp the mid-range. So you can run a 4-channel amplifier to this set of speakers. It also has a jumper so that you can just run 2 channels into it if you want. But then if you go down from there, you have the FSEs. And as you can see, these are the shallows. So the F is shallow. So they make, if you have some deep, you know, I'm surprised we don't do more of these. You know what I mean? I just thought about that. I was like, why don't we have these? Like, we probably have a set, but we never think about it. We're dumb. And then you have the FEs. Now the FEs are going to have a silk dust cap here in the center, as well as it's just a passive 2-way that does not have the bi-amp capability. So there's 3 different price points, 3 different functionalities. The FSE also has the same crossover form function as the FEs. Anyways, you can have it at focal-america.com and check these speakers out if you're interested in finding yourself some Focal flax. Got that tweeter, bro. Be flaxing. Nando, don't those belong in your car, not on the wall? So,
yes.
The answer is yes. However,
I'm just renting to these. So
before the show, we're working on this Porsche that's out of frame here.
Yeah.
And Fernando goes, hey, you know, it look really cool. And I go, what? And he goes, we should put my amps up on the wall. And I go, okay.
Well, I'm not going to say that was my idea.
No, it was totally. Whose idea was it?
That was Brad's idea.
Brad's idea?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's like, dude, that would be cool. And I'm like, I'm in. Yeah, because they look cool.
And we need some place to put them until they go.
And that's the idea. So
there they sit.
Right there.
So there's 2 of the 3 amplifiers. This amplifier is not going in his car because it's not a real amplifier. So in order for us to put the amp on display and hide it in plain sight like we did with you guys, they had to Frankenstein an amplifier together for us to do that with. So it's actually all the test pieces when they were trying to figure out what color the end plates were going to be. Is it going to be copper? Is it not going to be copper? So this amplifier is a fake.
I just want to say, I'm surprised by you guys because that amplifier was there and the wall for
there was a couple
months.
People that got it, and we were really obvious about it. But it just, there again, we have so much stuff on the wall.
I know, but still, like, this stands out.
Yeah, but even when they had asked about it, we're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, I mean, we had to play dumb. One of the other reasons why they were so happy that I would take one like this is because they know how nerdy I am, and they know that I was so excited to just have something odd that no one else will have. And also here to show you how silly this amplifier is. Okay, so like when we were talking about the heat sinks when we had Brad on last week, and we were talking about, so it's got the fins on the inside, so you can literally see the fins here on the inside, like when we were talking about the end plates. So that's how they do the smooth here because the fins are there. But this is the 6.2 on the outside. But okay. If you'll notice, it's a 4-channel. So the 4.4 end plates are what are on it on both ends. So like that says CU 4.4, and that's the output. So this isn't even anything that's even real. Like, what's up, Danny? Because this, I mean, yeah. Anyways.
But as soon as we have the time, we're going to put them on the car.
Somebody someday will be like, man, whatever happened to that weird heatsink thing, Frankenstein amp that Dean and Fernando had? I'd like to get my hands on that. I'll be like, no, man. Then Haley will be like, yeah, you can buy it. How much you give me for it?
Oh, I have an idea. What we can put in there.
Okay.
Yeah. All
right. Anyways.
All right.
Super excited about the 1058 XR with Toslink. Aren't you, though? I am too. I got to be honest. I'm really excited about that because that means I don't have to run RCAs. I'm doing upgrades in my Camry 2020 hybrid model with Morel components. Any tips would be appreciated. Best wishes from Norway. Buy a laser or a 3D printer. Listen, the hardest thing in that car are going to be mounting those tweeters into that factory location. And the one thing I absolutely hate the most is when people cut the holes in the top and put the tweeters in from the top. That drives me crazy. Like, it just looks so bad. You may have to do that in that car because of how small that factory tweeter is, if it in fact had the factory tweeter. What I might suggest is, if you do have to do that, and of course you don't have access to a cool laser or anything like that, is possibly, instead of just drilling a hole through the top, is maybe epoxy it in from the bottom, drilling a hole and then covering, drilling holes in it to perf it more so, and then just covering it with grill cloth or something to put it in the corner so it just doesn't have those ugly things. Now, if you have a 3D printer or access to a 3D printer and you can kind of do some 2D, 3D design, you can always build a flange like we did for the other Toyota. That allowed us to clip into those and fit the bigger tweeter from the bottom. Now, if you didn't see that flange, this was a flange that we made here, this guy, and it has these little tabs you can kind of see right there. And those little tabs are designed so that our tweeter mounts here from the back side, comes in, and we have another piece that goes over the back of it, and it clips in like this, okay? And that allows us to put a bigger tweeter, because the factory tweeter was small like this. And this, but anyway, you get my idea, I hope. So 3D printer, bamboo, all day long. Where do you source your large ABS HDPVC plastic sheets? Looking at getting some for my shop. So we use a local supplier here called Farco. There's also a national chain that's also here called GE Polymers. And anyways, those are kind of the places you have to find is that. There are some internet places that will ship. I just don't think it's probably reasonable, because like you can buy smaller pieces from like 2x4 foot pieces off Amazon, believe it or not. I don't know how cost effective that is. I get my acrylic pre-cut from Etsy, which is really cool because it comes preset and ready to drop into my Glowforge or the X tool. It's all set. Oh, from Shenzhen.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he's in China right now. Yeah.
I can see his picture.
Yeah,
he's like,
looks totally like him.
Yeah.
But anyways,
yeah.
There you go.
All right, so don't move.
I'm not moving.
All right, here you go. You can
2021 Toyota Tacoma, tweeter or 2 3/4 mid dash. Okay, listen. So I'm a big fan of the 2 3/4, especially if we're doing like some 6902s.
Yeah.
However, this is where the fun comes in. If I'm going with like a really expensive mid-range, let's say like, and I don't mean really expensive, I mean mildly expensive by,
sure,
like some Focal Flax or some
expensive. Okay, for some people those are expensive.
Those are expensive. Yeah, some people are not.
Okay.
So I'm saying, if we're going like a $600 or $700 set of components, whether it be Morel, whether it be Focal, whether it be JL Audio C2s, whatever, then yeah, I'm gonna go with the tweeter in a mid range. Okay, because I know that mid range can cover it. Now everyone is getting now people are starting to make better, according to Jeff, middlers. Which I'm still not sold on, because I would much rather have a tweeter, because I know most people like tickety tick tick and not whispery whisk wisp.
Sure.
So
yeah,
that's just me.
Okay.
But if I'm going 6902s, yes, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah. No, I like the 6902s.
Right.
I rather have that mid-range.
Right. And again, that budget. Now, Helix also has a really nice new mid-range that they're promoting. And then our next sponsor also has a nice mid-range that we're going to show you here in a second. So stay tuned.
Okay.
What is Jen talking about? Oh, this one. Okay, you got it there. Because this is the second part of the question. Question, says Chris Vera. The answer is no, Chris. It's always no. You can't have any. Okay. Due to lack of clarification when setting the Upmixer for center channel on the Blackbird, Do you run the left and right, mid and tweet through the Upmixer to left and right, or just feed them standard left and right? So this would be a great question to ask me while I'm looking at it, but typically what happens is when you turn on the Upmixer in the Arc Audio DNA software, you need a left and a right input. Typically it's the front. It only has 2 inputs. Then what you have is the outputs. It says left front, center, right front, rear effect left, rear effect right, and there's all acronyms for these. So I would want a left in and a right in, and then I'm gonna, if I need my upmix center, I'm gonna take my upmix center out and go to where it needs to go. If I'm gonna use my rear, I'm gonna go to where it needs to go, where it needs to go. Now, if you don't want to use the upmix left and right channel, don't see how it sounds. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, because I mean that's typically what you would do.
But you're not doing the tweeter. You only do the left and right. That's what
right. So what I'm saying is
left and right, and the tweeters.
Right, but what I'm saying is if I'm doing a center and I'm going to go active front, left, and right. Okay. So I want my own channel. Christopher, yes, use the Upmixer for the tweeter. See, I'm not going to do that. But if Brad says yes, who's actually never heard it, never heard it. But yeah, I guess you should.
There you go.
Yeah, because it's just a signal input.
And even if you can try multiple things, right?
Route all through that Upmixer. Yeah, sure. Let's go that way. I mean, what the guy there again from the guy who's never used it. I'm giving him such a hard time right now. He's yelling at me right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I almost want to plug it in and show him what it looks like.
When is the time?
Okay. All right, we'll plug it in and show you what we're talking about.
Yeah,
okay. Fine. Does 80 hertz, 300 hertz, and 3000 hertz sound like a good crossover point for a 3-way active Flax 6.5, Audio Frog 4-inch, and a Flax tweeter?
80, yes. 350,
350, and 3200 would be more because that's a Flax tweeter.
It's a Flax tweeter. Most likely is like 5,000.
5,000 is typically where we cross. Actually, I would 32 is low if you're not doing crazy and you don't, but if you don't want to blow it, I go up to 5,000. But somewhere between 32 and 5,000 is where you want to be.
Yes. But yeah.
So if it was a full Flax set, I would do 5,000, 350, and 80, and that's what I would do. The 4, he's got a 4-inch though, so you might be able to go a little lower than, so 300 might be okay. Huh. But
give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yes. Tampa Lowrider Show is coming on March, and we are going.
We are?
Yeah.
Oh. Dude, Fang is just throwing them out there. Look at this. Does mixed audio have the same effect as mixed drinks? It might if you're tired. You're not even tired.
Yes, you totally, because you only hear the background noise. Wait, what? Yes.
Oh, the hoodies. Okay. Well, they're stained because he gets his French fry ketchup on them. So.
Okay.
Just curious on a DSP amp, how does one go about setting gains with no dials or knobs? You do it through the software. See, there's sliders. So there's gain sliders.
So with every amplifier that has a DSP built into it, it has a software that you need to plug it into your computer and set it out from there. Inputs, outputs, crossover points, gains.
Full of soot.
Yeah, time alignment and all.
So depending on the equipment you're using, some of them have peak light indicators built into them, and some of them don't. But yeah, all of it's done through the software. Most amps with DSP, I won't say most amps with DSP. Some amps with DSPs have that. No ketchup, just salt. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Ketchup?
He just does ketchup. I'm sorry, he just does salt on his French fries.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I mean, whatever works for you.
All right. How come you twist your speaker wire when every amp kit comes with molded wire? Molded? Yeah, it's molded wire, right?
Yeah. Oh,
how come?
Yeah, so, all right, that's actually an easy one. Hold on, I'm going to put Moscone up here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of using molded wires where you have a positive and negative. It's twisted. It's usually like the stuff we have sitting over there.
Okay.
So that's
just
molded wire.
Standard wire.
Standard wire.
Yeah.
Standard wire, positive, negative, square, round, gray,
Yes.
white, black, red, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So we don't really use any of that stuff. The only time we'll use any of that is on the inside of a subwoofer enclosure. We'll use it sometimes.
Yeah.
Even on subwoofer wires, we run stranded wire. So we'll run a red and we'll run a black and we'll run it in TechFlex. But when we're running speaker wire specifically, whether it be for input or output, so if we're using it for signal, if we're using it for speaker, we run color-coded wire for the position of where that speaker is going to go. I don't like having 4 runs of the same color wire coming back into or from my system, because then I got to figure out where it all goes. I got to flag it. I got to put something on it so I can service it later. So I'm not going, all right, here's a white wire with a black stripe, and here's a white wire with a black stripe, and here's a white wire. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So the reason why we use all twisted wire is because we have a color code. The color code is very similar to what not factory, but what an aftermarket radio is. So we use a main color of white, gray, green, and purple. Mm-hmm. And then depending on the negative is going to denote what it's actually doing. So a tweeter is bright. We use a bright color. So a tweeter is going to be, the negative will either be red or yellow.
That would be. We always use white and yellow.
Oh, it could be white and yellow. It could be white and orange, or it could be
mid-range.
Mid-range is either going to be blue or brown.
Yep.
And then a mid-bass will either be black stripe. Mm-hmm. It just depends on what the input is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll be a brown.
So it's just personal preference.
So the reason why we do that is so that we know what we're getting into, what wires are what. So if we're somewhere down the road and we're like, what is this? Like, we'll know exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. So that's why. And it looks cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really
all right. So, right.
Would the Morel CWC 254's wide range mids be good replacement for a dash tweeter with mid bass indoors, or is that not what you'd use them for? That's actually what you use it for. And if you have a like a DSP or EQ or something in there, you'll be fine. That's like, that is a middler. That's what it's designed to do. If you like see, most of these middlers all roll off about 10K, okay, 10,000 hertz, okay? So if you're like, man, I want it to cut like a knife, then you're not going to get that with a middler. You're going to still want a tweeter, okay? So that's really where you come in on that one. Okay, hold on. Before you do that, I need to talk about this. We've been talking a lot about middlers, and so one of our sponsors is Moscone Gladen, and they have a new line of speakers that's actually really cool. It's the new Zeta speakers. These are their high-end speakers. They make all kinds of funness and why they're so great. But one of the things that is really cool about them is we talk about a la carte all the time, and these speakers come a la carte.
Yep.
Because they know how to listen. And we have 4 speakers here that allow you to design in most applications. So what we have first off is the 200 millimeter. So you have an 8-inch. You have the 165 millimeter. So you have a 6-inch. You have the 70 millimeter. There's your mid-range / middler. Then you have the 30 millimeter large format tweeter. So this will allow you to make any combination of speaker situation that you're wanting to do. If you'd like to know more about the new Zeta series products, you can head over to moscone-america.com and or gladen.com and dig in. And if you're interested in, just check them out. Really sexy speakers for sure.
I like this one.
If I bought these, I'd be living a la cardboard box. It ain't that bad. Looks like 6.5 end to end. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me pull this up. It says, I'm using an Amp Pro in my system. I used an RCA cable to my D61200. Could I tell any difference if I use Toslink cable? Yeah. That's how I would do it. I mean, given the opportunity, yeah, totally do Toslink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Every time. Oh, it's like, dude, we've done enough testing on it in the last 6 months to where it's like, I don't want to do anything other than Toslink.
Yeah.
Like it sounds so much better. Yeah. Now there are some caveats, right? Because Toslink gives you left and right, it gives you volume control, but you lose fader. So you have to make sure when you go into the Amp Pro, you have to flick the dip switch for 2-channel audio. If you don't do that, you're going to lose some of your sensors if your car has sensors. So if like you got backup sensors and front sensors, they go to just left sensors and right sensors, which is fine. I think most people can figure out if they're going reverse and they get a doot, 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 it's coming from the backup. It's not coming from the front of the car. But anyways, it just goes to 2-channel audio. I mean, right? But the Toslink is just like, yes, you'll notice it in the quiet moments. It'll sound way better. Yes, it's fantastic. Good afternoon.
What's up,
Mike? I love that picture.
Yes.
Because I'm in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
noticed.
You didn't notice?
No.
Yeah, I'm standing in the background with the camera in my hand.
Okay.
Angel Garcia asks, what's the news on the Accord 10th Gen aftermarket radios? So as far as the iData solutions for that, using the new S8 kits and stuff like that, that is a phase 2 release. So that'll be a phase 2 release. I don't have a time frame on that. Like, I don't know if that'll be before the end of the year or around the end of the year or anything like that. So we just know that's a phase 2 release according to the flowchart we got. Are you guys familiar with the brand new PowerBass, and is it good? Your thoughts? I've seen the amplifiers. They look fantastic. I've heard the subwoofers. They sound like subwoofers. And they make new loudspeakers. There again, I've heard the new stuff. Like, they've been on display everywhere we've gone. They had a huge display at SEMA. They had another display at Knowledge Fest. Jeff Fox.
Falk?
Yeah. Not Fox, but Falk.
I know.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to get him on the show this year for sure.
Yeah.
Like, we keep running to him in the airport, which is hilarious.
It is hilarious.
And we're like, Jeff, we have to get you on the show.
This is what we need to do.
Man.
We need to do a show on the airport.
Yeah, we could totally. Yes, we could probably just wait and have him show up and be like, "Hey guys, what's going on?"
Yes, exactly.
So so we will have him on, but
the brand is good.
Yes,
the brand is good, and those, they make really plug and play speakers, for anything. So yeah.
I mean, Chris, there's this thing called the internet.
What?
You can literally go on and see stuff, man. I mean, it's all over the place. How's the sound quality on the KFC 6902s? They're class leading, meaning you will not find a better sounding version of that combination from anybody at that price point. Like, they kick everybody's butt.
So if you have another 6x9 component, will you change it?
Depends. So this is, I get what he's asking. If you had a choice, so here's the thing, okay? This has always been the problem. That's why there's a 200 millimeter speaker now, okay? Is because 6x9 goes up to a certain price point and stops.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot, get high-end manufacturers to make a high-end 6x9. They won't. They won't do it. All right, they will not do it. We've asked. I've like, you'd think you were asking a kid, why didn't you clean your room or unload the dishwasher with the amount of excuses you get from these people.
I was busy.
It's
I
silly.
was busy watching TV.
Now, we are starting to get some nicer high-end, something closer to high-end 6x9s. Like, we just saw the new ARC 6x9 that they're coming out with. They're, again, not super expensive. But, like, there's nothing in, like, a K2 or a Thesis or a Morel.
Elates.
Elates, thank you. They're not there, and they never will be. Because these companies that make this stuff just don't see them. Like, Morel's 6x9, they all come to the U.S., like, we're the only country that buys that speaker. Like, literally, Casey has to wait to get, it's like, okay, and he has to buy them all because they're not going to sell anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm at a price point to where, like, a 6903, like we talked about, or Kicker has their version of it, There's a couple other ones out there. Those are just the two that pop in my head. Like, no, I'm going to go 6x9 because I'm at that price point to where I know I'm going to get more mid bass out of that 6x9. But if I'm up in the Focal Flax range or the Slate Fiber or all those other brands I mentioned, then I'm going to go with that 6.5 because I can put a lot more power to it and I'm going to get a much nicer sound.
Yeah.
So, boom. Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah. What are we looking at?
I'm going to look for the other one.
Did we do the... Oh, we did. Yeah, because we talked about French fries. Okay.
So you want another one?
No. I mean, I got one. I just pulled one up. I have a Camry hybrid. Can I install my audio control LCD 51300 with two Fosgate P112s, Blam Signature Series, coaxes and radar? Yeah. Yeah. Sure. 25. We just did a brand new 25 Tundra that has the Tundra. It has a hybrid system in it. Hybrid means there's a battery somewhere, and an LC 51300 really isn't drawn enough current to be an issue. So yeah, you'll be fine. That's a really nice system. That is a really nice system. That should sound fantastic in there for sure. The one thing I would highly recommend, okay, is if you're going to do, I'm not worried so much about the rear, but I'm definitely worried about the front, is I would get yourself a kicker key lock, okay, to do your de-equalization for you, because the D51300, well, okay, I'm sorry, it's an LC. Never mind, you're good, because you don't have any de-equalization, because you're not DSPing it. So yeah, go for it. You're fine. You don't need a key lock. Just hook it up, call it a day. However, I would recommend going to pack-audio.com and getting your parts, or getting a list of your parts, because they do make a T-harness for that car. It's the same as the 2024. So pick up that little harness, because what you're going to find is, and also, you can probably get them all from Metra, but go to Metra and pick up the speaker plugs, if they make them, for your car. Because it's going to be aluminum. You're not soldering that. It's really hard. So, yeah. Afternoon, y'all. I have a 2011 Outlander with the factory Rockford Fosgate, and I want to add a couple of subs. I still want to keep the rest factory. What's the best way to wire that up? You could probably just get away, since there's factory subs in there, you could probably just get away with going with there again, kicker key lock. If you want to re-equalize or de-equalize the...
It's a Toyota.
No, it's a
Toyota Outlander, no?
Yeah. So, like I said, no, that's Outlander is a Subaru, isn't it? No, Subaru. Yeah, Outlander is a Subaru. Yeah.
Okay.
You're thinking of a Highlander.
There you go.
It's an Outlander. It's a Subaru. And Toyota's never used Rockford Fosgate. Anyways,
yes.
If you want to DEQ it to fix if there's any crazy stuff happening with the factory subwoofer, the kicker key lock would be what I would recommend. If the factory sub signals are okay, I would probably just go with like an LC1i with a volume knob. Add the volume knob, or unless the amplifier has a volume knob.
Mitsubishi.
Either way. Oh, yeah, Mitsubishi Outlander. We were both wrong. Let's be honest. We were both wrong.
Subaru.
I mean, whatever. I know which car it is. It's an SUV. We're both idiots, okay? Deal with it. Anyways, head over to audiocontrol.com and pick up like an LC1i, LC2i. Ooh, better yet, screw all that. Forget everything. Go pick up an Epicenter Micro. Yes, get an Epicenter Micro to interface. If you're going to disconnect the subwoofers, you'll have load resistors built in it. And it doesn't really matter what the factory subwoofer signal looks like with an Epicenter Micro, because you got the effect knob you can turn and just have freaking awesome bass. Crank all that stuff. Subaru Outback. Okay, see, there you go. There was out in there. Okay, so you got Highlander, so you got Lander, and I got out.
It sounds better with the Toyota Outback. You see that?
I mean, at this point, I just want a bloomin' onion.
Sure.
I mean, right?
Outback, Outlander.
But thank you. We know our cars. Hold on. What did Bobby say? Dean, what was those plugs you used on speaker leads on the Fox box last week? Those were
XT60s? No,
90s. So the XT or XC90 connector,
XC90.
You can now buy it as a screw-in. Okay, so these are all things I should put up on the DNF tool drawer if I had time.
Probably.
So this is what we're talking about. So it has a front like this, and then a back like we're used to, and it comes with the plug. And then what we make is the custom front end to make it look like. So we have the lasers. We cut out a bunch of pieces and make our own speaker plugs. So that's what that was, Bobby. It's the same thing that comes on an audio control box from the factory. So if you buy one of the audio control boxes, it has this plug on the side of it already. It has a really nice version of this thing. It's like aluminum on the side of it. So I'm pimping an 05 Outback. There you go. It's a 20-year-old car. It's probably really nice. And you can probably fix it. Hey, cars, a 23 Elantra bass. Want to run a 4-channel and a mono amp. If my car only has front speakers in the doors and no rears, is that going to become a big problem? No. Here's the thing. Okay, so stereo, forgot to add. My plans are to run a set of silver flute 6.5s, silver flute? Okay, whatever. And 1-inch tweeters active off a Fosgate 4.6. And a Dayton Ultimax 10-inch off Infinity reference. Yeah, that sounds fine. So having no rears is no big deal. No. I mean, it's not anything to get excited about. Now, what you need to check before you dig into this, okay, all right, now I get the gist of it. So it's a 2023. Is there going to be problems not running rear speakers? So you may actually have problems. Let me explain. How? Because it's a 2023, it's going to have backup sensors. The backup sensors might come out of the rear speakers, okay, which is not the end of the world, okay? So has no rear speakers and no fade capabilities. Then you have nothing to worry about, because why would you? So boom, call it 8. Now, let's say, so Jen, you're fine. Just hook it up, front, left, right, into the thing, sub, you'll be golden, okay? It won't affect anything. Rear... So that's understanding the concept of rear, which we can also mention if you like. But first things first, let's kind of cover this. Let's say you did have rear speakers. You just want to do a front stage upgrade, no rear speakers, but you got backup sensors coming out of the rear speakers. What do you do? What do you do? In this case, what you do is you would hook up the front channels to the amplifier, tweeter, mid-range, sub. Everything is going to come off of the front 2 speakers. You're going to fade the stereo to the front all the way, okay? What that's going to do is prevent audio from going to the rear speakers. In your case, you don't have to worry about this. Everybody else's case, they do. The reason why that's not going to be a problem for backup sensors, because you faded to the front, essentially cutting off audio, is because backup sensors don't pay any attention to fader. So you can keep the beep, 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 all going on in the back of the car. No audio will play through it, because the backup sensors don't care if there's sound or not. Like, it bypasses the fader control. Now, that solves that problem that you don't have. Now, you don't have rear fill. The car doesn't have rear. Very weird, but it doesn't. So, in a car, in a set of headphones, in your house, it really doesn't matter. It's called stereo. And the reason why it's called stereo is the term means left and right. That's it. True stereo is only left and right, meaning you have a left speaker, you have a right speaker, and everything else is fanned out from those 2 speakers. In a car, it has rear fill. Rear fill used to be a copy of your front left and right, just playing out of the back speakers. They've gotten a little more sophisticated now, and sometimes they'll add a little bit of delay. They might put an all-pass filter back there. They might do some equalization to do some frequency shaving. They might even put a crossover back there. A lot of guys do that now. So they've screwed up the sound just enough. But the point is it's still a copy of the front, unless that's just bass audio. Unless you get into something that has an upmixer in it. So Alpine and Ram, JBL, or any one of the Harman groups that JBL is all responsible for. There's going to be some form of an upmixer, like we were talking about with Chris Vera earlier, where the rears are now manipulated into having an effect. So they're not a true stereo, which gives you that surround sound fill. Now in your house, you do this a lot of the times where you say, simulate a surround sound on stereo, and that will use an upmixer built into the surround sound and create that sound in the back to make your room sound bigger. So there are some things that matter and some things that don't matter.
Okay.
What's up, Marty? Marty Dean.
Marty.
All right, hold on. I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
No backup sensors, has no backup camera. Ah, that's cool.
Sounds like a
dude. It sounds like it's like a
one of those
little Lotus 2-door. It's like, where did you find this car where it has no backup cameras or anything? Like, stereo got too complicated. Yeah, it
that's
did.
good.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And it's all to be cheap. That's the bad part. Team No Rear Fill. Would a high power 200x4 mid and high amps ever make your headlights dim like an 800 watt bass amp? Would the 4-channel amp have the same current draw? Okay. No. I'm going to go with no. Okay, I'm gonna go with no. Because you're talking, okay, can it still put out a ton of power? Yes. Could it still make the headlights dim? Probably not. I don't think so, because it's not going to hit that. I mean, it's not going to, when I say hit, I don't mean like bass is hitting, bro. Meaning like physically draw that amount of power from the amplifier. The tweeters are never going to get 200 watts in ever. I mean, if we're just talking like a standard 4-channel mid and tweet, it's never going to draw enough current from it to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, if you loaded it down with like lots of loudspeakers, like I got 8 tweeters and 8 mids, yeah, it's going to hit that system hard. But a standard system that just has some components, maybe some coaxials or just a tweeter and a mid, no, it's not going to do anything at all to it. That's where you get like that phantom power or boost rail power, or there's all these cool names where it's like the smart power supplies that it says, okay, these 2 channels aren't drawing a lot of current, so I don't need to worry about them as much as these 2 channels. Like, these are the mid bass, these are really railing, so I need to adjust the output devices so that these get more power because these are working me harder than these. So that's just smart technology that's put into these amplifiers. We know it's a Mitsubishi. We figured it out.
Sorry.
Have you guys checked out the new Helix i5 8-inch hybrid woofers? Any thoughts? No,
we haven't.
However, I talked to Jeff last week. Yeah. Mr. Jeffrey Smith, who now works with Helix. He works at MSC America. And we're going to get him on after MasterTech Expo, probably after CMA. So within the next, by sometime mid-April, we'll have Jeff on, and we'll talk to him about all the new updates that were done to the Helix DSP software, because there are a bunch of them. And we'll also ask him about the new product
they have, because they have new product, of course. Yeah. But the people that they working on, they're very happy with those i5 8-inch. So okay, all right, so this is another one.
This is another one.
Another one.
I was gonna say, this is some DJ Khaled stuff.
All right, so looking to upgrade my Kicker Key 200. What amplifier do you recommend that offers more power and easy DSP setup?
Okay, so here's the really cool thing that you can do with your key. Keep it. Don't get rid of it. Buy yourself the new LX 4-channel amplifier. Okay? And run the Kicker Key directly into the input section of your new LX amplifier. Keep your DSP EQ thing doing all your stuff that it's doing. Just run it as your EQ DSP into the LX amplifier that's going to have 4 times the amount of power. And there you go. You're done. Yep. It doesn't have to be
you
hard.
keep the capability.
You literally use
the
the key as your EQ DSP line driver and your high level to low level input.
Or power.
Yeah. It's a totally doable thing. Because Kicker actually recommends that, which is even crazy.
They don't make another amplifier DSP that is gonna do what the Kicker key does. You know, you have to do a lot of things. You have to connect it to the computer and doing all that stuff. So, yeah,
why not?
Use your Kicker key to the bigger amplifier and done.
Hey, look who it is. Mr. Basic Hall Productions right there.
Oh, yeah.
What? Dude, what are you doing?
I didn't.
You touched it. That was you.
That was me.
It was great to see you in Tampa.
It was great to see you, man. Hopefully you guys, apparently you guys, you know.
I just downloaded. And thank you for the software again. I actually just downloaded it last night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sorry if you lived my world.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. All right. We want to do a quick impromptu
yes.
DSP talk.
DSP talk.
Yeah, which is brought to you by I thought I changed that. Hold on. Let me do this. That was weird. All right, so this next segment is brought to you by the fine folks at Arc Audio. Early in the show, Chris Vera was talking about Upmixer problems, and so I thought what we'd do real quick is take a look at the Upmixer in the DNA Arc Audio software. So let me shut this off. Let me go over here to the laptop, which is already queued up and ready to go.
Beautiful.
And so what we got going on is this is what we like to call the Mixer Assistant. How you get to the Mixer Assistant is if you come over here and you go to Tools, click on it, and it says Mixer Assistant right here. The other thing we need to do first, though, is come over here to the gear and go to Preset Settings. And right over here, it says Upmixer. We're going to click Enable. That is going to turn on that. So if we're back into Tools, and we go Mixer Assistant, we can now see that blue box is highlighted, whereas a second ago, when it's off, it is no longer highlighted. It is off. Okay, so let's get that back on. Now we all know. And enable Mixer Assistant. Now, if you're on the Mixer Assistant, it's got all these green boxes turned on, and you're like, I don't want all these. Click all off here. Come over here and click all off here. Now, what Brad was talking about is this right here. We want to, if we're using inputs 1 and 2, or if we're using Toslink, it would be these two down here, whichever you prefer. Pick one. And that is going to come in, left is going to come in here. It's so output 1, which would typically be your tweeters, is going to be left. And then if we go over to here, right would be your other tweeter. So left tweeter, right tweeter. Then we'll go left mid, right mid. And then we will go center would be here. And then if we're doing rear fill, our rear fill would now be, we're going to skip over that. So these two, we're just going to consider both of those center. And we'll go rear fill, rear fill. That should be 7 and 8, which would come, yep, it is. And that is that. Now, if we are going to run subwoofers, we can come and turn these two dots on over here. And if we want our subwoofers to be 11 and 12, that is those guys right there. And that is going to feed our sub. And so now what we're looking at is left tweeter, left mid would be these first two dots here. Right tweeter, right mid are going to be these two dots right here. Center is 5 and 6. Again, if you're using like a tweeter in a mid-range, or you're going to bridge it, or you just need to use 5 and not 6. And then our 7 and 8 are going to be our rear effect. And then 11 and 12 will get fed off of the same two front inputs, and that'll be that. Now, if we turn these all off and we're going to do Toslink, this would be the config for Toslink right here. And that would be that. Now, the one thing you can't use is super bass on your mid-range. However, you can use super bass for your subwoofers if your subwoofers are doing something like if you have two subs that are facing each other in the trunk, you could do that and use super bass to try to fix any anomalies that you have with your subwoofer. Yeah. Or in his case, if you wanted to use this channel to power an in-dash subwoofer, then we could come back up here and we could click on that as our feed for that channel. And this would give us just center out to 5. And then we could use channel 6 output for our upfront sub, and then use 11 and 12 to feed our Nighthawk. So there you go. And if you or anyone else in your family would like to know more, you can head over to arcaudio.com. What are the two size difference dimensions of the large? And yeah, what are the, okay. So while I was doing that, if you heard the little clinkety clink of the tape measure in the background, Fernando was back there measuring them. So the bigger 6.2, which is the one closest to Fernando's head. Dude, it's literally right there. Right there. Right there. This one right here. What size is that, Fernando?
Well, Brad says it's 11 and 15 right there.
What did you say it was?
I just measured it, and it's the 6.2 is 14 and 3/8, kind of.
All right, so 15.
Of course, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like 15. And the 4.2 and 4.4 are 11 inches, like Brad says.
Yeah, so he rounded it.
Yes, correct. So
like 2 and 7/8 by 8 and 7/8.
8 and 7/8, yes. So
that's funny that like Brad went and did that. Hey, Brad, was that a good explanation on the Upmixer?
He say no. Ha!
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Thanks, gentlemen. Yes, just wanted to clarify. Of course, man. Whatever I can do for you, Chris. You know I'm your bitch whenever you need me.
Whoa. Did you guys figure it out about the Twitter and speaker stuff?
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Do you know the Morel hybrids are worth the extra money versus the new Census 63 speakers? It's a better speaker. The Census is a down from the hybrids. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If we're asking this because we want to save some money, you're the one that's going to have to grapple with that one. They're both excellent speakers.
Excellent speakers.
For sure.
Yeah.
But the hybrid is a better designed speaker. There's no question about it. It is. So
you're not gonna go wrong.
No, you're not gonna go wrong.
You already bought the Census, that's fine. But yeah.
Very good. I'll use some fries. You know, it's funny too because like Mixer Assistant, when we first started playing with DNA software, and Brian was like, "I only use Mixer Assistant," and I go, and he goes, "You'll learn to love it." I go, "No, I won't." It's like I understand the other one, but no, the Mixer Assistant, hands down, Mixer Assistant is so much better than the other one. Now, what I just wish is I could right click and I could tell it what it is. So just give me a drop down menu and say front tweeter, you know. But one day we'll get drop down. I mean, we just got the calculator. I got to back off for a little bit.
Yes, come on, man.
We just got a huge update.
Brian's gonna be like, dude, seriously?
They're getting.
You're not gonna get fries these
two updates a year. So we just got the calculator. We just got the dynamic EQ. So we just got a bunch of new stuff. Now the only thing we need to make it like totally perfect is adding bass restoration and
I need the bass
labels.
restoration. Yes.
Bass restoration and labels. I think, and that taps out that software.
Yeah.
And then loudness or dynamic EQs presets like loudness and stuff like that, which is software driven because we know it because he told us that's just software stuff, so we can do that. So that's. Those are the two. Yeah. So and then 2.0 when we go to a bigger processor and probably 3.
Christ, man.
Well, I want some form of input equalization, auto input equalization. Let me rephrase that. DEQ.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't need output EQ. I want input EQ. So I think that would be fantastic.
All right.
Okay. What's up, Dean? It's Jason, truck driver. Hey, hola, Fernando. I'm looking forward to the guys. Guys, on my rear doors, why the Focal ICU 165s or the Focal Performance 165 ACs? Only $100.
So it's $100. So I was looking into it. This is
Access,
and the other ones are the
save the money. It's fine. I would just save the money.
Yeah, $100.
Yeah,
I would spend the money.
I wouldn't spend the money. No, because it's not going to matter. It's not
I know,
the big difference between the two is a little bit more power handling, which you don't need, and the tweeters are the same.
Yeah,
tweeters are the same. So it's like, why spend the money? I mean, listen,
it's $100, man.
Because but it's there. You could spend the $100 somewhere else and make a better. You know,
yeah.
Oh, it says, hey guys. I'm in town this week.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, Brinkley is in town. Sprinkly, Brinkley! But no, I wouldn't waste the money.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like you could probably put $100 somewhere else and make way more, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Or
put
more money
I like cheese and rice.
and go with the
go with better front speakers.
Go with the flax.
Okay, hold on. What's it say? I missed the question earlier, but I think you covered it. Exchange these.
Kicker KS. I bought
See?
for the 602s.
Sure.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Sure. Great show.
6902s are.
Thank you for stopping by,
fantastic.
Car Gifts.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you know of a three-way that fits the 2022 Tundra up front without cutting the dash for the mid?
14 to 2021.
Yeah, the Morel Virtus. The new Morel Virtus three-way will drop right into place. It's got a really tiny mid.
It's not like the Maximo also?
Yes. So from Virtus down, three-way set, it uses the same basic size mid. That'll fit right in there with no problem. If you want to go high-end, look at the new Gladen stuff. Some of the new Gladen stuff uses smaller
magnet.
The generic stuff.
Yeah.
It's called generic. It's not really generic. It's just, but the new generic mid-range drops right in.
Call it?
Yeah, they call it generic.
But it's not generic.
No, it's universal.
So why would they call it generic?
Because in Germany, it translated out as generic.
Yeah, but here, generic is generic.
I understand that, but they don't always understand that. Just like when you read the site in English, it doesn't make any sense. Hence why they're like, yeah, don't copy and paste anything from their website.
Yeah.
And I'm like, neither should you, because
generic.
You know.
Okay.
Yes. Morel Virtus and Gladen. Yes. I don't know what SP is. You mean SPL? I have no idea. If you're looking for sound quality, they're both sound quality. Speakers, yes. Morel Virtus speakers. Hello, gents. I have a 2022 Camry. Wow, tonight's about Camrys and Toyotas in general. With
no push start.
Okay, no push start. Radio is off when the ignition is off. Are LGD greens required when upgrading from factory to aftermarket? Okay, so let's disregard the whole front couple questions there because that really doesn't mean anything. Yes, the LGD greens are load resistors. The load resistors are in there to stabilize the output of the amplifier. They have nothing to do with the ignition, push to start, key, or anything. The nice thing about a key is that the car will stay on if you're trying to tune it instead of shutting off every 5 minutes. It's so damn annoying. But LGDs are there to load down the amplifier if you're removing the speakers from them. So if you pull all speakers, wires, if you pull all the speakers off the output of the radio, they need a load. They need something to stabilize the amplifier. Think of it like this. If I put you on a treadmill and I just hit 10, you're going to go, because we don't have, because it just turned it on. Like pull out the whole speedometer thingy on it. Just the motor goes as fast as it can. We need that regulator on there to slow it back down to 2 or 3 miles an hour so that, you can handle it. Load resistor is designed to do the same thing to the output of the amplifier. Puts the load, which is just like a voice coil on a speaker, puts a load on the amplifier to calm it down and let it operate properly so that it just doesn't blow up. And a Toyota, it's going to blow up. So,
whoa.
Dude, they suck. So, what did he say it was? My bad. It's okay. It's autocorrect, bro. Everyone's spelling sucks. In a 2021 Silverado with Bose, is there a reason why somebody would want to run the AX DSP into a better DSP? Why not just use a better DSP instead of both? Okay, so the answer to the first question is yes, we do it all the time. However, there is a new interface available, which is the PAC piece. So PAC just announced and is shipping, I think it's the GM71 maybe? Mm-hmm. So the GM71 is an Amp Pro, very similar to what the Access DSP is. The Access DSP was the first one to be available for us, meaning that was the first one that worked and we could install it, but it had a basic EQ to it, meaning it wasn't totally advanced, doesn't have all the advanced features. So depending on the system that somebody's building, it makes sense to go with a better DSP. That's all, because we just want the Amp Pro capabilities. We also want the ability to remove all of the BS that Bose puts in it, because the signal coming from the Bose, there's all pass filters, there's delay, There's nonsensical stuff going on with the subwoofer. And if we just tap into that like we've done in the past, there's a lot of de-equalization that has to be done. Whereas the Metro piece was the first piece that would successfully go in and extract out the actual signal that's coming from the radio to the amplifier so that we could get unadulterated, unmolested, left, right, front, rear sub. Now, in certain cases, let's say a guy wants to do a high-end DSP because he's doing a high-end system. Well, that little DSP that in it wasn't enough. Some cases it was. We've run it both ways. Now, with the Amp Pro version of the piece out, you can just do their piece, and you can do Toslink, you can do RCA, and do a better DSP if you want. There's no reason not to use their DSP. So, like, can I use their DSP? Yeah, you can. It's a perfectly okay DSP. They have two versions of it. They have the simple, and they have the advanced. So you can get whichever one you like.
So, in the whole thing, we only use it for the integration portion of it.
Yes.
So we can clean out our signal that we have from the factory.
Hours of time.
Exactly. And then we go to an expensive DSP or a better DSP. As you say. But yeah, you can still use it, you know.
Go crazy, bro. Yeah. Hey, guys. Oh, my gosh. It's Monday. Can you believe it?
Today?
Today. It's Monday. It's almost over.
I thought that was Tuesday.
Oh, no. I'm ready for it to be over. I still got hours of work to do tonight, so I don't know what I'm getting too excited about. But anyways, hey, big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for coming on here and spending your time with us, giving us an hour of your time. Hopefully you had a good time. If we didn't get to your question, as always, I'm sorry. I really wanted to. Oh, no, wait. You're on 4. Where are you?
Dude,
I don't know where you're at.
Man. Come on.
Anyways.
Don't forget, MasterTech Expo is coming up really, really soon. So
really, it's like 17 days, bro.
17 days? 16 days.
No, it's 17.
It's 16.
Doesn't really matter.
It is. It matters because you gotta.
We got a trip before then, so I'm thinking trip before that. Anyways, we'll be back this Friday, of course, to do news. However, that's the last show we'll be doing this week until Monday, with no Saturday show this week because we won't be here to do it. We'll be in Dallas, Texas, getting our teach on, which will be a lot of fun. Yeah,
16 days, 6 hours.
That's what I said. So thank you guys so much for playing along with us. Of course, we want to thank all our sponsors. Thank you. That's a good word. We'll use that. Arc Audio. You can find it at arcaudio.com, audiocontrol.com, Moscone, Gladen, Focal. They're all there for you to dig into and have fun with. Support them because they support us, or vice versa. Whatever you want. Head over to their website, see if they make anything that's cool. Clean Wire Challenge is, of course, going to happen. Pretty excited about that. MasterTech Expo. You know, here's the thing. The cool thing is it's open to anybody that can afford to go. It's the easy way to say it. Different tiers. If you're going to be there, good.
Say hi.
I think I'm going to go with, see you at MasterTech Expo. Oh, there's no chance you won't see us. Like,
you're probably not going to see us.
You totally see us. There's no way you cannot see us. Yes. I got to be tethered to the booth for the whole Clean Wire Challenge. So
yes,
he runs around. You might not see him. Actually, it's funny because I don't move, but people, where's Dean? Dude, there's a microphone and you can hear him yelling in the back. Anyways, I'm going to go with this. Have a good week, guys. Chris, you have a good week. All you guys have a great week.
Thank you, guys.
We'll talk again soon.
See you guys on Friday.
Oh, and this week we'll also be doing High Five Vega on Thursday, so make sure to tune into that. What?
5 minutes and 5 star Instagram.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thing to do. So, all right. Fade to black.